Hello, my name is Jonathan McClintock, and I am the Adult Curriculum Editor for Word Aflame Curriculum. And I'm here to tell you about some changes that are coming up beginning this fall. You'll recognize the curriculum, but there are some changes that are coming beginning this fall. We start a brand new series called the Living Word Series. It'll be for the next 6 years. And one of the big changes that's coming is we are aligning, the adult curriculum will be aligned with all the children's levels. So there will be stories, biblical stories that will be told the same day. The adult class will tell the same story and look at the same kind of biblical passage that the children will be, which will allow parents and families to have a same kind of conversation on the way home, be able to have that common ground of the lesson that they studied that day. In addition to this Living Word series and the alignment between adult and children's levels, there are also a few other changes coming. We sent out a survey not too long ago, and we heard some feedback from many of our UPCI constituents, along with other apostolic customers that we have. And the feedback we heard pushed us in this direction, and so we are excited about some of the changes coming. I wanted to let you know just a little bit about it, so when you get the material and you look at it, you're going to notice there's some familiarity to it, but you're also going to notice some changes. When we look at the adult lesson manual, you're going to notice that instead of having questions at the very end of each lesson, those have been moved now and dispersed throughout the lesson. So at certain points in the lesson, the teacher or the instructor can foster discussion or can at least provoke deeper thought about the principles, the lessons being, the part of the lesson being taught at that time. So you're going to notice the changes there. Also, one of the results of our survey is we are going to be changing up the Student Handbook. This is going to be, the change being made is going to help foster more student interaction. The Student Handbook is being re-engineered to include Bible study questions, some space for reflection, some space for writing different things, application segments. And in this new format, you're going to notice on the front, you're going to notice a name change. It's not going to be called the Student Handbook anymore, but it will be referred to as the Student Workbook. And also, you're going to notice instead of adult teacher on the lesson manual, you're going to see lesson manual. So there's a couple of just name changes there, but just so you know, what you once saw as the adult teacher is now going to be the lesson manual, and what you once saw as the student handbook is now going to be the student workbook. Now, the changes there, you're going to notice a little less commentary and full manuscript in the student workbook. I know in the past, when you received your student handbook, you noticed it was basically the full lesson the teacher had with just maybe a little less copy in it. So that's going to be different now. The student workbook is going to have some copy, and it'll have the culture connection. It will have perhaps some stories pulled out, some illustrations pulled out, so you can have that. But it's also going to have some paragraphs from the copy of the manuscript, and it's going to have some fill-in-the-blank areas so the student can interact and be more engaged with the lesson. So you're going to notice that change. It's not just going to be copy. It's not just going to be manuscript in there, and basically a carbon copy of the teacher manual. It's going to be a little different. It's going to encourage student interaction, and it's also going to encourage their interaction at home. Because for real spiritual growth and discipleship to take place, it's got to be more than just that 45-minute lesson or an hour lesson at church. And so this workbook is going to encourage your students to take the workbook home. They're going to be able to interact with it during the week and maybe further think about it and pray over it. Because there's going to be some different things in there. Now, for those of you that like that full manuscript, you're used to buying the student handbook for your students, and they like just having the same exact thing basically as the teacher has. What we're encouraging there is for those that don't really want the workbook side of it, you prefer that the way it's been. We we encourage you to just buy the lesson manual for both your teacher and your students. But I do believe these changes are going to help, and I believe it's going to be a great thing. The feedback that we heard, teachers, pastors excited about this change. So we're praying that these changes and the things that you're going to see when you receive your material, that these changes are beneficial to you. We believe they are. We believe they're going to be. We believe they're going to help grow disciples in your church. God bless you, and we pray that this material, this curriculum is a blessing to you and your church.